All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian McLogan, and this is Open Live Q&A, week number 151. I know you guys have some exams coming up. Maybe you already took, or maybe you already took your exam, so hopefully you did all right. But as we're coming into this mid part of the year, I wanted to kind of dedicate this little stream just to kind of answer any questions that you have. So I usually always typically like for you guys to go ahead and submit your questions on brianmclogan.com/Q&A. But for on this video, if you do have any questions, like if I can ever add anything or add any context to a question for you inside of the chat, then feel free just to go ahead and add along, and I will try to do my best. Hey, Aroff, good to have you on first first this time. Good job. 2K challenge. You're usually pretty quick. So, Aroff, that was good by you. DJ Pancake is happy to help out. Hey, Anwar, good to have you on. And Simply Luna, hello. Jake, I am so happy to be able to have helped you out. Awesome. So, let me go and see. I want to go and get, yeah. So I usually like to go ahead and submit these and get these all ready to go before I go live. And I just did not. I had a busy weekend. I was actually in Legoland for on this weekend for my daughter's 5th birthday. So we kind of had a busy day, and we're kind of getting back. We got back today, and so it was kind of a little bit busy from on there. But I did want to still make sure I could go live. I'm just trying to get my. Not sure where. Not that. Trying to find my. Oh, there's the overlays. I was wondering where I was going there. So if you do have any questions, feel free to go there. I will go ahead and check out brianmclogan.com/Q&A. Also, if you do have any questions, you know what I want to do? So a couple things that I'm going to be adding in with you guys. So I'll go ahead and put this in the chat. There's only like a couple questions that are posted in there. So I am taking a look at your questions, where did I put them? There we go. Awesome. Put you in for here. So I will take some of your questions, and then I'll also let you guys know of some links that you guys can have, or at least some things that are going to be coming up. So I'll let you guys know. We'll kind of go through that. I do have some things I do want to share with you guys, which I am excited for coming out for this new year, or at least some kind of like changes a little bit. I mean, just a little adjustments that I'll be making. So I'm happy to kind of share those and let you guys know about that. Thank you so much for helping me with my homework. You are very welcome. I forward this to my kids. They're in pre-calc, Legoland, lucky. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for on that. Yes, pre-calc. I spent a lot of time teaching pre-calc, and yeah, Legoland was actually pretty fun. The only thing that's was crappy about Legoland was to get on most of the rides, you had to be 48 inches, and my oldest was 47 inches. And then to ride most of the rides, like with an accompanied adult, you needed to be 40 inches. And my middle child, whose birthday was like 38 inches, or she was like 39. So literally both my kids were like just under for like majority of rides, either to ride them by themselves or with the parents. So we were just, obviously we didn't think ahead in that regard. But anyways, we had tons of time. There's so many fun things to do at Legoland anyways. But I grew up by Cedar Point in Ohio, so I love riding roller coasters and stuff like that. So I at least got a little bit of fix. We did not stay at the Legoland. We stayed at the it's like a little conversion of like RV resort. It was still pretty cool, like a little converted RV resort turned into Legoland, but it was still pretty cool. Well, thank you so much, Sammy. Can I go over Hi, can you go over change of subject? I don't know what change of subject is, but if you want to go ahead and submit it to brianmclogan.com/Q&A, then I'll be more than happy to do that. Is trigonometry after logarithms chapter? Typically, yes. Typically, I mean, I didn't teach logarithms, or I used to in pre-calculus, and then we kind of dropped it. But typically, yeah, if you're to, typically a logarithms is going to be taught ahead of the trigonometry, typically. But again, like the nice thing about pre-calculus is you can adjust, or you can kind of like teach the course in a different manner, how you want to. So there is like no set form for that. I have a couple questions. Can I send it to you? And if you're free, please make a video. I need it by Wednesday. I probably won't be able to make a video on it, but I will try to do my best answering whatever questions you can send over there. And yeah, I can make them on there, or I'll make them during this live stream. I'm doing math right now, and I'm wondering what transformation is in the exponential function when x is the exponent is subtracted or added. So Max, this brianmclogan.com/Q&A is probably going to be your best bet, so I can actually like understand exactly. I don't want to. Sometimes sometimes it's hard to go through that. So the so yeah, like it's kind of hard to like kind of pick and point from there. Yes, I am actually going to be working on some calculus videos. I do apologize. I wanted to get these done a little bit earlier, but obviously for a lot of things, just, take way more time than I was expecting them. And, obviously trying some different things, but I am going to plan on actually releasing kind of some shorts and at least in the calculus. So not a lot of longer form. Right now I'm trying to go through a lot of my long form stuff. And since it's been a while since I did through the calculus, I thought like shorts would just be a good way for me to like just kind of go back through practicing, doing some problems and going back through getting the mindset from on there. And then that will allow me probably for like in the later years, next year and over from there to do a little bit more longer form from on there. But I do have some content already prepared, and I will be getting some more coming out. So it's not going to be like a full curriculum. Obviously, I already have like a ton of older videos, if that can interest you, but I don't have anything. I will be coming up with like definitely at least some content coming out from there. I mean, yeah, they're always texts. I would just, kind of see if they have any information that they can provide you of what you need to know. And then just, the more practice problems you can do, the better. Hey Ben, hey Mr. McLogan, I got my first college final for calc in a week, and I need to learn antiderivatives, integration, and partial derivatives. Any tips on how to start or go about it? Well, I mean, obviously, you're going through like antiderivatives and integration, right? I mean, you're going through that step. Like if obviously you're already if you got your final, like if you haven't already like taught it, or if you're having trouble, that's where I'm kind of concerned, or not concerned, but like trying to understand like your question. Like if it's just about those topics, which again, it's been a while since I taught them, so I don't have like a specific portion on theirs. But I mean, I think with anything is like go back through the basic examples, and like try to do as many examples as you can. Because the tough thing about like with calculus, antiderivatives or even, differentiation is you can understand the concept, you can understand the process, but the more access and the more different types of problems you get, the more confident and the better you'll be at because when you get those exams, sometimes you're going to get problems that you've never seen before. So you have to be able to apply what you know. And if you're only just basing your understanding off of, I know how to do like these two problems, or I knew how to do, anti-differentiation in this example, but I can't really relate it to anything else, then that's where that's where usually students will get kind of stuck. And hey, I was here last week and I mostly figure out trig identities. Well, awesome. Do we do your question? I think we did. Or maybe, I don't know if this is your question or not. Did I do a trig identity? No, I didn't do a trig identity. Okay. Well, if you do have any trig identities, I love trig identities. So, although sometimes I don't really like doing trig identities. Oh, okay, there it is. Sometimes I don't like doing trig identities though for on the live streams, just because it can take a long time. So, where is? No, what the heck? Oh, let me go through this one. There we go. Okay, this is so weird. Okay. I like had I was able to like have a shirt coming up from there, and then now my shop is like all messed up, so I won't even provide the stuff anymore. That's so frustrating. And for some reason, my spread shop is like not working at all either. So I do apologize for that. I reached out to them last week to go ahead and get help with because like my spread shop, like nothing's working. And I haven't heard back them on there as well. So, Mr. McLogan, finals prep week for my final on Saturday. For my second midterm, my overall score wasn't great, but I doubled my score from first one. That's good. All my homework's done. Awesome. Now I can just review. Yes. And I have actually a whole video that I'm hoping to get out to you guys as soon as I possibly can. Actually, I think Yeah, probably won't be done. Unfortunately, I'll have some shorts that'll be coming up. So if you take a look at my shorts and stories, I'll have some stuff coming out from there because I don't think the video is going to be ready. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure you get all the homework done, do all the practice examples, review your tests, your quizzes, your notes, do all that stuff. But you want to make sure that obviously you're like going through those practice problems and set some time every single day that's practicing studying for your exam, like certain time block every single day throughout the week. I just Googled it, changing the subject of a formula. Didn't know what that was either. All right, I'm still not sure. I'll have to maybe take a look. Well, there's a link that is right above that you can just go ahead and submit your file or your tip over there. I mean, I don't really know if there's any difference between college or high school, for studying pre-calculus. I mean, you just gotta, quick little tip I can just give you is, keep on spiraling reviewing. Like once you learn something, just because it was last semester or it happened last week or last month, keep on going back to it, keep on reviewing things, right? Always try to keep things fresh because, the one thing with math or pre-calculus, like a lot of concepts, they come back, right? Or they build off each other, and stuff like that. So, just don't feel like once you learn how to do something that it's over with, you never have to look at it or see it again, right? Keep on going back to it, keep that stuff fresh. And especially for now, for those of you who have semester exams, like if you've been doing that, you're going to be in a much stronger position, right? Getting ready for your exam because you're like, oh, wow, I've already been reviewing like this whole time. I don't know why this shot. I'm just going to try to log in, see if I can. So, see what's up with that. No, we have a shop. All right. I'm an engineering undergrad and I'm doing Calc 1. So I strictly watch your videos when my kids aren't looking. Yeah, I mean, I do have some calculus videos, not a whole bunch, but a lot of people also found like my videos, come in handy, especially if they forgot something or they, some things like that, like just to kind of as a good reminder. That's always kind of been helpful from there. All right. So why is my shirt not coming through? Because I had mine. Man, I don't get it. Huh. It's so weird. Why doesn't it have the men's shirt though? Huh. I'll just do all connected stores maybe. That's so weird. I'm doing good, Nathaniel. Thank you. Adding and subtracting rational functions, rational expressions. Well, let me know what you have on there. If you want to go and submit it up top, I'll be more than happy to kind of do your questions. Are you making a paid geometry course? I mean, I think eventually I'll have something that is going to be some paid stuff on geometry. Right now, I'm just kind of I'm trying to go back through a lot of my content for free. And obviously, if you join up as a member, you guys see a lot of my content is members only because I am creating a lot of content. And it's just more content than I can possibly make live on my website. So that's why it's kind of behind that, the members only stuff, which I will be doing from on there. So, a couple things to let you guys know for those of you guys that are members, I do want to kind of do some extra live streams, kind of for members only, or at least for the chat. And I'm also going to be reducing. So right now, if you guys look into the members section, all you see in the member section is the $199, the $999, and the $24.99. So what I am going to be doing though is I am going to be reducing the $199 as far as to the exclusive access. So therefore, that is still going to be members only with the emojis, the icons, and some discounts. But as far as the exclusive access for the members only content, that's going to go behind the $999 because that will probably be something that's going to be wrapped into like some additional courses and stuff like that. So, um, so yeah, just a little bit heads up. I know most people that are members of my channel are at the 199 level. You know, they just appreciate me making content. And obviously like they, you know, either don't have a lot or don't, you know, just feel like that's a decent amount just to, you know, kind of say thank you, which I extremely appreciate. But I did want to let you know, like if you're using that level as really to get access to a lot of my content that I have connected from video to video, you know, for those in different sections, then that is just going to be at that next tier from on there. So that's kind of how I was switching up some of those things. And yeah, I'll be adding like a members only kind of stream, which would be for all members, 199 all the way up. I am going to continue my tutoring, which I did want to let you guys know. So I know a lot of people have been like reaching out to me and be like, hey, Mr. McLogan, like tutoring. Like, do you offer tutoring? Like, how much do you charge? Like, let me get on. I have an exam coming up. So I do apologize, guys. I cannot offer tutoring or offer paid tutoring. I can't do it. I don't have enough time. So unfortunately, I have a good and a bad solution. The good solution is I offer tutoring without taking your money. Now I do offer paid courses. So if you want premium, you know, content, you pay money for like all my resources and all my like extreme videos that are not on YouTube. There are ways to pay, but for as far as tutoring, I just don't feel like it's a transaction that I like to take as far as like a, you know, pay me, help me kind of idea. Okay. At least as far as like the tutoring idea. But so anyways, but as far as on the tutoring course, so that's the good news. Like doesn't cost you anything. But the bad news for on the tutoring is I do look and do something like as far as a reciprocal, you know, kind of issue, which is like, hey, I want to kind of like share your journey as far as like you learning math, you getting help, and me helping you overcome things. So basically, if you need help and you're looking into anywhere from like 3 to 5 sessions where we can focus on like a test, we can focus on an exam or anything else where I can kind of help you get over a hump, then go ahead and take a look at the link. I'm going to update my live streams videos. So therefore you guys can always like get access to the link and like submit it, you know. The only problem is like, yeah, you know, I haven't made a video. I've had a couple people that we've worked through. I just decided that it wasn't we didn't have like, it wasn't enough. It didn't have the vibe that I wanted to kind of like make a video out of it, like telling their story. But you know, it's like, I mean, that's, you know, just being upfront. Like, that's why when you have the application, like you have to submit a video, like you have to be able to, have your session recorded, like answer questions, like you have to be transparent and open, with about that. And I think that's something really important about learning math. You know, a lot of students, you know, I get it. Like if you know, a lot of students won't even raise their hand because they don't want the person don't want people to feel like they're stupid, right? It's a completely normal and justified feeling. But I also think that this stepping out of your comfort zone and, you know, sometimes taking like, I wouldn't say taking risks, but, you know, taking some steps where you're not, you know, where you're like, hey, I need some help. I need to get whatever needs to get done. And just realize like, you know, the sessions obviously would just be between you and I and just having them recorded. And then, yeah, you know, we'll see what I might be able to, you know, kind of put together to kind of like try to take this journey, you know, really kind of learning about your struggles of math and kind of where you're at, and then seeing if we can get you over the finish line. Cause that's kind of like my goal. If anybody's tutoring, and that's why a lot of times people want to be like, hey, you know, pay you money to, you know, help me with my exam. Well, I don't really want to just help you with your exam or help you with the test or anything like that. What I want to do is like, you know, help you set you up for like more future success. Right. So therefore, you know, therefore it's something that you can learn for or maybe help other students with, or, you know, not have to rely, or always feeling like you need, you know, somebody like me or like a tutor or something to always get you over hump. Right. You know, so I do kind of feel like that's where I kind of say like the 3 to 5, kind of sections is kind of where I feel like it's helpful, you know, for you, what is kind of needed, to be on from there. So if you are interested, I'll go and put it in there. I'll put it in the description. Actually, you know what? I'll pin it for right now. Oh, there it is right there. All this. Yeah, let me go and pin that. I don't know why. What happens if you Huh. Let's go into Spreadshop. All right. I just want to take. Hmm. Uh, Pranav, great question. I definitely, well, it depends on what you're talking about, like teaching. Do you prefer at home making videos job or actually teaching in person? So that's too much of a that's too hard of a question. Um, Too good of a question. Why? It's in my chat. What the heck is going on? So I definitely miss teaching inside the classroom. I definitely miss like when I'm talking, not talking to a screen, right? And a camera. I miss having the kids. I miss having like the joking around, talking up, helping. And then also like helping like when I'm teaching something, getting that kind of feedback from students. And it's very difficult. Actually teaching in front of a um why is so weird. I don't get it. It's very difficult kind of teaching like in front of a screen and kind of like adjusting from on there. So I definitely, as far as like actual teaching goes, I definitely prefer teaching inside the classroom. However, the teaching from home offers a lot more flexibility. Sometimes like, tomorrow, like I used to when I was doing these live streams. I mean, this is week number 151, right? So I've been doing these for quite a bit, quite a long time. And like when I was doing these and I had the school the next day, and sometimes I'd like test to grade and before first period, and it was just always like this stress going on there. So I don't miss that at all in that regard. So that is, I really do like the flexibility. But yeah, really do kind of miss this, the students are kind of having like that audience. Um, Jordan, the best thing if you can go to spin it at brianmccullough.com/Q&A, I'm going to pull that up here really quick. And then I'm going to start going through questions on there. So that's going to be probably your best way for me to be able to take a look at it. Maya, same thing. How do you graph rational functions? Yeah, I mean, so if you can plot the vertical asymptote, the horizontal asymptote, the slant, the holes, the x-intercepts, like find the x-intercept, find all the asymptotes, and then basically just use a table. So what I always like to tell students is like, once you find all the asymptotes and the intercepts, then find like one or two points in between each asymptote, like vertical asymptote, and then like plug in the value, right? If you have an asymptote at like 0 and 3, then plug in 1 and 2 into from like a table for X, and then find the Y coordinate, right? And there's your coordinate points. Just remember your graph is always approaching vertical asymptotes, right? So with a little bit, also knowing like even odd functions is kind of helpful as well. But yeah, I think just, using kind of table functions, knowing that a graph is approaching your asymptotes, and with some practice, you can get, I think pretty good at being able to graph them. I didn't really focus a lot though with graphing rational functions, at least with my students. I mean, I used to, and then later on, I just kind of like dropped it as much. I wanted them to be able to identify the characteristics and, kind of move on from there. Yeah, look at it every single night. Study it, practice it, do the problem. Don't just try to like do flashcards and try to memorize it, right? Actually be doing some problems, do the math, do the formulas, like work through examples like that. Um, that the more that you're doing with that stuff, I think the better and easier it is for you to retain that. Well, thank you, Nathaniel. I appreciate that. And Jordan, I appreciate that as well. I know I'm not sure what website you're talking about. Are you talking about the Spreadshop, or are you talking about um the what's that? Spreadshop I know is not loading. Um yeah, I don't know. Spreadshop is not loading. I'm not sure what other website is going on, but let me know. Which website? Let me know. I have a lot of websites for them. Calculating Tuesday. Ooh, best of luck. I don't know anything like anything. Okay. Can I manage to get it down? Well, I don't know about that. What I would recommend for you is try to take whatever review that you possibly have, or just maybe focus on like the reviews and like homework, or not homework, but the, like tests and quizzes, and try to take away whatever problems that you can understand from there, right? Don't focus on problems that you completely have no idea what's going on. Focus on problems that you kind of understand, or problems that you know how to do. Practice them, feel good about them, and just focus on that, right? Maybe it's 10 problems, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 30, but do those problems over, like review them, like make sure you understand how to do those problems. Um, Make sure you know how to do those problems, and then for the rest of them, just approach it the best you can, from on there. But like if you're literally at a point where like I have no idea what I'm doing or what to do, I would look back on past tests, look back on past quizzes, right? Because those are most likely going to contain problems that probably going to see again. So focus on the problems you know how to do, or that you feel like you now understand once you got them wrong, you have the answer with you. Focus on like reviewing, practicing those. And is also, if your teacher gave you like a, semester exam review and stuff like that, you can utilize that as well. How do you find the y-intercept for slope intercept form? So the y-intercept is just going to be your b. So 0 comma b would be your y-intercept. Yeah, the live stream will be on throughout I don't take them down, so it'll be on for forever, or at least it's plan on doing it forever. I'm really worried about. Oh, hey, Gabe, good to have you on again. I'm really worried for 4 of my midterms that are in 10 days, and I've been studying math and English all weekend. Yeah, it's really stressful. I know. Just try to break it up. Like the best thing I can tell you is like time block. Break up times that you're going to be doing things. And yeah, just know that like once you're done, you're done. Like so, it's not enjoyable for the next 10 days, but face it, get over with, and then boom, you hopefully have some time of rest. Computer, Curry, you still never told me what was the website. Which website are you talking about that is down? Please let me know. Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I know it's tough, but it's like there's only, you know, I think just you want to make sure you're just spending the most amount of time, like your best use of time, right? And figuring out what your best use of time is and focus and go from there. So what I always like to do when I'm finding this scale, like I'm not sure what your teacher does it, but I always call it like the X scale. And what I do is just take for my I just take my period divided by 4, and that's going to tell you what the scale is. So obviously, if you have a phase shift, then you start at 0, and then you just shift it whatever the phase shift is, and then you go by your scale, right? So if your period was like 2 pi, then your X scale is going to be pi halves, right? And just kind of go from there. If your period was pi, then your X scale would be pi fourths, and so you just start where your shift is, shift pi halves to the left, pi to the right, whatever it is, and then do your X scale from there. Submit the questions. Do you have a Calc 1 folder? I mean, I have a ton of Calc videos, Calc 1 videos. So if you go to like my playlist, on my YouTube channel, I have a ton of Calc 1 videos, and most of them are pretty quick. So hopefully that can help you kind of get through many, many videos, to kind of like cram as much content as you possibly need without like watching like a 30-40 minute video or anything like that. Like, you can just like knock out a whole bunch of videos. So hopefully that's something that can help you out. If you're a student wanting to retake a test, but your teacher does not allow retakes, what would you do to convince your teacher for a retake for a physics test? I used to allow retakes, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would. I mean, there's definitely merit in having like that timeline, of things. I would maybe just kind of just be honest with your teacher and being like, hey, here's why I wasn't understanding the information or why I kind of struggled with this test. Here's what I've done since then. And I'd really like the opportunity to show you that I understand the information, because that's really the whole purpose of a test, right? You're trying to show what you know. And obviously, I'm not saying like make up something like an urgent issue, that happened during your test, but it's like, hey, I don't think I studied or I didn't really understand the material, very well when I took the test or, whatever may be the case why you did struggle. But it's like, hey, once I got the test back, here's what I did to like learn the information. Right. And that's why I gave retakes because I wanted to encourage students to like take where they got wrong, fix those mistakes, learn what they got wrong, like improve upon that, and then do better, right? It wasn't designed for like, oh, I just need a better grade, so I'm just going to retake it, right? And I think that's why a lot of teachers, including myself, would not give retakes because students would just use and abuse the system to just get better grades. They didn't really care about learning, actually learning the information. So I think if you can, center your conversation around that rather than like the grade portion, um, then yeah. I would, I mean, this might be an odd one, but if you're going to win me over, right? What I would say is like, if you're going to win me, if I was your teacher, this is what would win me over. If you said, Miss McLogan, I didn't do well on my test. I didn't really study for it as well as I did. I was having a hard time understanding. I didn't get the help I needed. I didn't do the practice I should have. And I failed, right? I did poorly or whatever. I got this. I would really like the opportunity to retake the test, to have you regrade it or take a different test, whatever may be the case. And you can keep my grade, like keep the grade that is. And you might be like, Miss, why are you telling? And don't just keep my grade as is, but I really want to show you that I learned the information. So that's going to bring the teacher into two kind of like quandaries. One, I think you're just earning the respect of the teacher of like showing that you care, right? And that you want to improve and that you want to learn. And then two, it's like, hey, it's not about it's not about the grade. It's about like the learning process. Now that could completely just not really backfire, but like, obviously we all know you want a better grade from it too, right? We're not just like, just all of a sudden want to do things, but like, I think one, you could just like the teacher go like, oh, well, thank you. That's good. And here's your new grade. Like, and yeah, that's your word. Like you're not getting a better grade. Which depending on the circumstance, definitely could happen or is something I might do as well. But you also might get the thing where it's like the teacher's like, hey, you know what? I really respect that you did this. Let me bump up your grade, an extra 10% or 20% or something like that. And they probably won't be able to honor if they don't have a retake policy. They probably wouldn't like honor your new retake because word would get out pretty quickly. From on there, it's like obviously if they have a policy, they want to stick by their policy, but they might offer something of benefit to you. And then also too, I think that might, just open their minds, for you in the future, of maybe opportunities that they might be able to do to help you out or to, look for ways to help you from there. So I think just focusing on the retake, not about the grade, but focusing on the learning, and showing that to your teacher, that might be something that they might allow it, or, they might be open to some opportunities for you to improve grade. Hopefully that was helpful. Well, you're very welcome. Happy to help. Um, I mean, yes, but that's a very, very like that spends like a lot of days going over that. So if you have a specific question that you have on those, then submit it at the Q&A and I can go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A and I can talk a little bit more directly about it. But like, yeah, I mean, that's like a week's lesson. So I'm not really sure what you need from on there. But I did actually make a video not too far along. I will have some more coming up that's on there as well. And also I have a ton of videos on graphing. So if you need any of those, like if I don't get to anything like that, let me know. Was there ever a day where you got bored as math? Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of times, especially like, that's what I didn't really like about physics. Just because a lot of like the application, you're just, just the math was not very exciting, from me. It's sometimes some problems would be like very heavy math and like engineering stuff. It just didn't excite me. Yeah, you got to be consistent. You got to do math every single day, And so I'm saying doing some practice problems, like redoing problems you know how to do, redoing problems that you got wrong. Look at your homework, look at your quizzes, look at your tests, look at your reviews. Like do problems every single day. Even problems you know how to do them, practice them. Problems you didn't know how to do, look at the answer, cover up the answer, try them. Like just, you should be doing 15, 30 minutes, depending on how far along your test is. You know, if you have one coming up this week, next week, bump it up to an hour, hour and a half, right? Work through many, many problems. I will have some shorts, I think some content coming out this week to reinforce some of those as well. 7. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're parallel or perpendicular lines. Like, I mean, it's just the slope. How do you find the slope for a parallel? I'm not sure what this question is, but parallel lines have the exact same slope because that's why they never touch. And perpendicular lines have opposite, what we call opposite reciprocal lines. I'm not sure what your questions are. No, I would not recommend them. Computer Curry, you still did not let me know what website was not working. So please let me know on that. I greatly appreciate it. That's so weird. So maybe is this not the right one? Send it. Oh, I forgot to hit the live stream. That's why. I was wondering where I'm going live. I'm going live on my regular live. Gotcha. I can't believe that. I was going. All right. Gotcha. I was on the wrong chat. So sorry about that, guys. I was wondering, I was like, because I actually scheduled the live stream later. And then when I hit live on my streaming software, I forgot to click the right one. So I clicked on actually a random live stream. So yeah, well, that's okay. So it's so weird because on this one, it was allowing me. It's only allowing me to do the women's shirt. That's so weird. Well, whatever. I made a new logo. So if anybody wants to support my new logo, I have a woman's shirt and stickers. The men's shirt is available. I don't know why it's not showing up. And then also, I was going to let you guys know, I did have, let me see here. I did actually have my pre-calculus first semester review that I made available on as well. So I will actually have some more. I actually have my pre-calculus. I actually have a pre-calculus course, which if you are interested in, then yeah, stay tuned to my channel. I will be releasing that. Let's just do a sticker. There you go. There you go. Get a sticker for good luck. There you go. Now I can pin this product. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, stickers. That's what you need. It's a good sticker. And I have a men's and women's shirt too. I don't know why they didn't populate though. So whatever. Is what it is. But yeah, I do have my semester review. I have on my semester course. I'm actually going to make a video. Actually, I'm probably going to go live from on there. So probably go live middle of this week. So if you're interested in, or you're taking pre-calculus, then that can be something that would maybe interest you. But I'm just going to do, I think, like a quick little live stream, just explaining it, what's in it. And, you know, if you're interested, cool. If not, cool. From on there, I know a lot of you guys have other courses and stuff like that. And some of you are like doing good. You know, maybe your teacher's providing tons of material. That's awesome. But yeah, just wanted to, you know, let you guys know of that. I do have like my old, yeah, so this won't pin. So weird. Oh, let me get to that link. So for the tutoring link, let me go and put that in there because I was wondering I couldn't like copy this before. Let me go put this in the chat real quick before, and then it is 9:40, so I need to start doing some math questions. All right, let me go and get caught up on my chat. Pin, replace pin missions. Oh, do I already have it pinned? Probably. Oh, I got my pin product. Okay, so I guess it is showing up there. So it's just weird. I guess it's maybe showing up on the mobile. For those of you that are on mobile, I guess you guys get it. I don't know. Yep, I will be I haven't checked any of them out. But anyways, I would not recommend doing I mean, flashcards are good for what they are, right? But no, I mean, for retaining information, most students that do flashcards are not going to retain it over a long term, right? So that comes into application of doing stuff like that. But as far as the short term, I think flashcards are great. Very happy to help you out. So it's in slope intercept form. B is your y-intercept. B, 0, comma B. I would love to, Eric. It's just been so long since I have actually covered a lot of calculus. So I'd probably need to be brushing up on some stuff. And I don't want you guys to be going through on the live stream as I'm brushing up on my calculus instruction. But definitely something I do want to be bringing up on my channel coming up, more and more of. I like this. Years ago, I failed Calc 1 as a U of I freshman year after loved math my whole life and taking pre-calc senior year of high school. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't see how it related to anything previously. I get it. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, can relate. I'm using Khan Academy and your channel. It's so cool. Have a tutor. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. That's awesome. That's exactly what you need to be. Like taking different aspects, and then keep on learning, keep on practicing, keep on, people are going to approach the subject differently from their experiences. Right. And that's why I think sometimes it's tough for people to understand, like why some person seems like they always are easy at math or understand math. It's like, are they smarter? No. Are they just naturally better at math? Not really sure. But like we all, based on our experiences, all like, approach and understand mathematically differently. And like sometimes that comes off as like naturally gifted, right? Or anything like that. But it's like, it is, our perspective and like our experience does impact how we understand and how we approach math. And so having like multiple different versions or people or instruction to understand from, I think is like extremely important. So kudos to you. 4208. I guess I'll look at that. All right. Sorry, that is way too much for me to go ahead and take a look at. But if you submit that at brianmclogan.com/Q&A, I might be able to understand a little bit better. How'd you approach the video? I mean, you got to go to your professor. I mean, you got to do it most students, the reason why he has a history of failing students is they're probably doing the same thing. So I'd go against the grain, do what other people are not doing for his class. Right. Maybe try to find what people have been successful. Like I remember there was a class where I really, really struggled with the professor. He was just, how he was teaching, I was just not understanding it. So, I was at office hours every single day. I mean, every day he like offered them, asking questions, and obviously that's subsided eventually. But yeah, I was determined. I'm like, I'm not dropping this class. Like I need to understand what I need to do to be successful to pass. And so, that's what I did. That's always a good thing. Calc BC is going to be like Calc 1, Calc 2 kind of combined. So that will be, your more difficult course. Can you come sub for my class or to Christian Bank? Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, so far I've been subbing mostly in where I live. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be mind to doing some different travel. I think that'd be kind of cool. Just reach out to me either on Discord or on Instagram. I'm going to see. I have to study for my first ever Algebra 1 exam next week. Best of luck, Billy. You got this. Willis Billis. I don't know why I call you Bill, but Willis Billis, you got this. You're very welcome, Sammy. Maybe. Might have used it a couple of times. I have final calculus exam tomorrow, and I'm nervous. Any tips? Breathe, exhale. Do the problems you know how to do first, and don't waste your time on problems you don't know how to do or problems that are confusing. Right. In calculus, a lot of times you're going to get like, there's going to be problems that are tricky, right? This is the same thing for the SAT, ACT. You'll see a problem. You're like, oh, I know how to do this. And then it's like, wait a minute. This is a little bit different, or this seems like a different situation. Like skip it, come back to it later. Right. Do the problems you know how to do. Do the gimme problems first. then come back to those problems that are a little bit trickier, ones that maybe you're like, I have no idea what to do. Like spend your extra time there. Awesome. Let's go back to pin that. Yeah, I mean, you just got to, the how do I study well for my college final? I mean, just keep on go back through, like, yeah, so it's a lot of topics, right? So focus on what's going to give you the most benefit, right? So focus on doing, like, look at the problems that are on your exams, on your quizzes, on your homeworks, right? On tests, like your review from your teacher, like focus on those problems. Those are most likely going to show up on your exam. Um, you still never let me know what that website was. Still never let me know. Let me know. All right. I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to get out of. Like, why do you want to take, calculus as a calculus AB? Like, I didn't take it. I never took it. I took calculus sophomore year of college. So, and I have a math degree, right? So, and people know me from teaching math online. So, it's not a race. But if you feel like it's a course where it's going to benefit you and then yeah, go for a ticket. Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes it's not. Like, so, I definitely speak with your counselor, speak with your math teacher, speak with your parents, see what the best decision is for you. So when you have a test for like a week, I would just focus on like your homework, your tests, your quizzes, and just reviewing those problems that were on there, like redoing them, doing the problems you know how to do, doing the problems you don't know how to do, and stuff like that. So just kind of reviewing all that stuff. I just like the connection. Well, I just like, actually, it's a good question. What I like most about math. I think actually just the curiosity and the patterns and I think the connections of how things are, you see connected that you might not even have no idea about how they're connected. And then seeing it's not so much like connected to the real world, but just like connected within each other. Right. And I think that was probably one of my biggest epiphanies once I was learning math, and I kind of like got out of it, like just to learn math to get a good grade, but to learn math to learn math. And I just realized how many things were so connected between math content. And yeah, I think that's probably my favorite stuff. I used to. I mean, I haven't had a full head of hair since I was like 20. Yeah, 20 years old. So it's been a long time. Been shaving my head ever since then. Actually, oh yeah, well, no, not so much. But yeah, 20 years old. 38 now. I'm about to be 39. I do not have any experience with that course. Sorry. And you still never let me know about my website that's not working. Let me know. I answered this question earlier. It is ABC is just your, I don't know why I'm answering again. You already started this. I already said that. Oh, I was going through. Let me go get these. Oh my God, I got a lot of things. Yeah. BC is Calc 1, Calc 2. Yeah, I mean, I might look into some IB curriculum from on there, but why is this not? It's so annoying. It's like this is not keeping up. Okay. Was I don't even remember what the question was. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I plan on getting to like some IB curriculum, but not really sure when or how I would be able to. Awesome. So happy to help you out, Nathan. All right. Brian just said, hey man, I appreciate your videos. You're very welcome. A couple months ago, your videos are really easy to understand. Where I teach a lack. Awesome. So happy to help. Hey Sailor, good to have you on. Hope you're doing well. And thank you again for popping on. That's awesome. I haven't had a student in a long time pop in, or at least one that I've known on there. But I hope all is well with you, and hopefully you are ready and prepared for some exams if you have still coming up, and we're in math. But yes, seeing your face just put a smile on my face. No, I do not teach at a math school anymore. I just teach kind of online on YouTube, I guess. Kind of weird saying it like that. Um, you're very welcome, Spirals. Hey, Pori, good to have you on. How do you calculate quarterly compound word problems? Also good to see you. Yeah, it is good to see you on. How do you calculate quarterly? Well, I mean, you need to like probably submit a question. That'd probably be the best for me to like understand for that. Ben, what are my hobbies? Well, I have 3 young children, so that takes up a lot of my time. So that basically hobbies I don't have a lot from on there. But I did play for a long time. I did play rugby competitively in uh in in Jacksonville and competitively. I mean, it was a men's team and stuff like that. And I do like just kind of like, doing like construction work, like, stuff around the house and stuff like that. Like I do like doing projects. And so yeah, I like to stay handy, and kind of like always fixing things or creating things. And, obviously play sports and, football, wrestling, baseball when I was growing up, but, definitely enjoyed playing rugby. I do work out. I do CrossFit, almost every single day. I took off about 4 weeks, so I think I quickly gained some weight back from there. Like, so crazy how that can happen. And then, so yeah, so I mean that, and then basically with my children takes up all my time. All right. How do you find the exact value of the integral using formulas from geometry? I would need a question from on there, and same thing. I need help with trig. Let me know exactly what you mean help with trig. I'm trying to graph. Ugh. But anyways, submit it over there because I'm going to go into brianglow.com/Q&A. I'm hoping I did not shoot myself in the foot and get a ton of questions because I've literally just talked in this whole hour and didn't do one math question yet. So let's go ahead and pop in 22 responses. Oh, geez, what did I do to myself? All right, guys. I know you have an exam coming up, so I'm going to try to do my best to answer as many questions as I can. But please understand, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a math genius. Since I'm not a math genius, I'm not going to be able to answer everybody's question. And especially if you're giving me word problems or stuff like that, I want to answer as many questions as I can, as quickly and efficiently as I can. So if it's a question that maybe I haven't answered, or, it's a question maybe I haven't answered in, come on, what the heck are you doing? If it's a question that maybe I haven't answered or covered in a long time, then I might not be able to select it for on there. So don't be mad at me if I do not select your question. I'm trying to get to as many questions as I possibly can from on here. And again, yeah, I'm going through a live stream. I have not seen any of these questions. These are all questions that have been submitted right now from you guys. So okay. Okay, let's look at this first question. Hey, Carson, best of luck to you. That's actually kind of funny because I remember I took an exam on like Michigan history, and this is like when I was in high school, and I remember it was actually pretty tough. It was actually pretty tough. Like you actually learn so much more about your state sometimes than you realize. Like, oh my god, I didn't even know there's so much of that stuff to learn. So, best of luck on your exam. All right, so find the length x. So let's see what the student has did. So they did figure out the missing angle here, right, for 78 degrees. They do see this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Very good. And so we got 78, 78, 42. So there's a couple different ways we could do this, and I'm not sure where the student. So you can do this using some. Well, actually, yeah, it's not a right triangle actually. So 4 in there. We don't have that length. We only have 90. So X is going to be from there and there. Let's see here. Let me see what the best approach would be, because I don't want to, I'm trying to avoid using a law of sines, law of cosines from on there. So they found the angles, which is correct, which I'd go through. It's just kind of tough because I don't really know where you are in your math on what you want to do. You could find your height, because one thing you could do is you could find this, like let's call this y, and let's call that z, right? So using trig identity or trigonometric functions, you could find those sides. So you have enough information to do that. Or you could also use a no, we don't have an angle side angle. No, we have this thing, yeah. So you could also use the law of sines, which I guess I'm just going to use the law of sines because I have this would be an angle side. Yeah, okay. So let's call this A. Actually, I'll do this 2 different ways. So let's do angle. I don't have time for 2 different ways. Oh, this is gonna be you don't have enough information to be able to find that angle. We don't have any of those side lengths, so that's not gonna work. Let's call this angle A, B, and that'd be little a. And then this would be little b. So I'm not sure where the student is, so I'm just gonna solve it this way. All right, so what I can say is sine of A over A is equal to the sine of B over little b, right? So we have A, which is sine of 60 degrees, all over 90, is equal to the sine of B, sine of 78 degrees, all over, B, which is our X, which is our unknown, which we're looking for. So now you can just apply the cross product, and therefore you have B is equal to a 90 times sine of 78 divided by a sine of 60. And sine of 60 degrees anyways is going to be a square root of 3 over 2. Right? And, I do have my calculator. All right, so make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So mode, I'm in degree mode, cool. So then I'll do 90 times sine of 78 divided, I'm just gonna type in sine of 60 because it's easier. And I am getting 101.65. And that kind of makes sense, right? That's bigger than that. It looks, if you're going by scale, looks like that could be pretty good. So hopefully that is something you've covered from on there that you can go through. All right, guys, just try to get to as many questions. I got all these questions, guys. These are all pre-submitted, so I'm going to try to get to as many of these as possible. And then if there's any questions in the chat, I will try to help you guys out as best as I can. All right, so Natalie, we got you checked off. All right, more questions keep on coming in. Crap. Okay. Ethan. All right. I can definitely tell if you're giving me like a really long problem or like a word problem, it's not going to get there. Oh, these are sketch the graph of each function, state the domain and the range. Good question. Okay. All right. Come on, dude. I was working on something. It's been a long time since I did one of these. So I'm going to try to do. I hate doing problems I haven't looked at before and like verifying. So I will try to do this though and see if I can help you out. Come on. Where are you? Let's try this again. There we go. All right, so the graph of y f x is shown. Sketch the graph of each function. State the domain and the range. Okay, so what I would do here is, so what's happening here is you're going to get your new output in that regard. So it looks like we're multiplying everything. So what I would do, it looks like this one, I was wondering if you're multiplying this by 1/3, is that going to be the same as this multiplying by 3? But it looks like from everything here, like I'm going to plug in 3 points that I have. Let's like plug in 3, right? And let's plug in like a -3. Because when you plug them in for, oh, that's going to be from that f of 1 of x, f of 1. And if you plug in f of 1, that's going to give you a 3. Yeah, that's going to be different from on there. So when I plug in a3, that's going to give me f of 1. I'd have to go back and check on this. Sketch a graph of each of these functions, state the domain and the range. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back to this one just because it's not something I've gone back through, and I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time going back and going through on that. I will keep your question though, Ethan. I'm not taking away. I just gotta go back through and like think through my process. It's not something I've dealt with a lot, and a lot of times I say like, hey, I'm not even gonna touch it because obviously like you get my brain like thinking. You can see like the questions. I'm like, crap. Let me just make sure I'm like teaching or explaining or understanding again the question of everything correctly. So I'm going to keep that. I'll skip on though. Find the range of rational functions, which has a root in the number and a quadratic in the denominator. I'd have to look at the question. I'm sorry. I don't like, I find the range of the rational function. I mean, so typically remember, you can find the range is, you can definitely graph it and looking to try and understand the graph. You can try to find the inverse, if that sometimes the inverse might be able to help you out. So find the inverse, find the domain of the inverse, might work out for you, or look into like graphing the function and kind of understanding where the not the discontinuities, but where the asymptotes, would be the horizontal asymptotes. Because if it's a rational function, well, if it's a radical, like, yeah, I'd probably look into graphing it or finding the domain of the inverse. Can you help me with this question? I don't know. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. No, word problem. Sorry, Kimberly. I am just not able to get to word problems. They're just too much. I want to look at. Yeah, it's just going to take too long. Sorry, I just have too many questions. Find the missing trig functions given the following. Oh boy. Okay. All right, I can do one of these. Stop. Why do I keep on doing that? Let's do the last one. No rhyme or reason to it. Just figured I'd do it. Oh, yeah. All right. So for a problem like this, basically what we would need to do is we need to create a triangle, right? And we have sine is greater than 0. So we need to understand, well, when is sine greater than 0? Sine is going to be greater than 0 in this first quadrant or in the second quadrant, right? Because remember, sine of any point on the unit circle represents your, or even if it was like off the unit circle, like let's say this is r, right? Then sine is going to be y over r, right? Where r is the hypotenuse though, so it's always positive. So sine is positive in the first and second quadrant, right? Because that's the y coordinate, right? And it's positive above there. Tangent, though, is negative and not in the first quadrant because everything's positive in the first quadrant. So tangent is going to be negative in the second quadrant. And remember, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if this is a 2/3, then which one of these is going to be negative? Well, that's going to be the 3. And then you can just use Pythagorean theorem to find your other side. So 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. So that's a what? Square root of 13 using the Pythagorean theorem right there. So now you can just find the missing reciprocal. So find the missing trig functions. It looks, I guess you are doing the trig, same trig. So here's going to be your theta. So you always use your theta as your central angle. And then you can just do like the sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, right? 2 over the square root of 13. Rationalize the denominator, 2 over square root of 13 over 13. Cosine of theta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. And again, rationalize the denominator. So it's going to be -3 square root of 13 over 13. We already have tangent. Cotangent then is just going to be the reciprocal of that. So that's going to be -3/2. Remember, then you can do your reciprocal identities, your secant and your cosecant. So secant of theta is just the reciprocal of sine. So that's going to equal secant is reciprocal of cosine. So therefore, that's just going to be a square root of 13 over -3. And then you have your cosecant, which is the reciprocal of sine, is just going to be a square root of 13 over 2. So you're just reciprocating those. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful for you. And guys, I'm not taking any more questions like from the chat. So these are all questions of people that were on the stream. I do apologize if you're joining the stream later and you're like, oh crap, I have a question I got to ask. Like, I'm going to try to add in some extra live streams for you guys this week. So if you guys are interested in, I will be adding to it. And I might not even actually be able to get to all your questions actually tonight. I'm actually being honest. So I think what I might do is I might just go over an extra stream. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. That's a good idea. Just because it's going to take me forever to do these questions. So I think what I might do is, let's see if I can get another question. And then what I might do, guys, is actually this week, I might just go live each and every week. And if you have questions, I'll let you guys just submit them going in from there. There you go. I'm liking this. I do apologize if you have exam tomorrow. That's really bad because I'm not going to be able to help you out with your question unless your question is next. But I just have so many questions. And I mean, we'll be here till like midnight. I don't even know where to begin. Well, that's always good. Good meaning the integral. I'm not going to be able to do the calculus. It's just been too long. Sorry. All right. Well, I'll see what I can do here. All right. So the student was saying, ask. I like that ask. That's funny. Oh, okay, cool. All right. And I like this one because you can see exactly what the student did, right? So they tried to subtract it. And I think this was kind of difficult because the question was like use factoring or square root method. When you can obviously see the student was trying to do square root method, right? Because most students don't want to do factoring because factoring is not fun. So they rather do like square root method because square root method is kind of like doing linear equations, right? You're just using inverse operations. So the problem is though, you cannot use the square root method when you have more than one variable. Okay. So you can see here, I have the quadratic variable, the x squared, and I have an x raised to the first power. So we can't use you cannot use the square root method here. You have to factor. All right. The only time you could use the square root method if it looked like this, if it was x squared plus 10 equals 0, now you could use the square root method. So when you only have one variable, right, you can use the square root method. So this would be an x squared equals like a -10, right? And then you divide by 8 and you get like this weird fraction. You get x squared is equal to a negative, divide by like 5/4, right? And then you square root and then you have like no real solutions, but whatever. No real solutions. Okay, anyways, that's a different problem though, right? That's not the problem we're doing. So we have 2 x's. So what we need to do is we have to factor. Now here kind of gets kind of confusing because what can we factor out, right? Well, hopefully you recognize like they have an x in common, right? You always want to factor out common terms first. So in this case, we can factor out the common term of x. And then think about what about numbers? Like what is the largest number that both evenly divides into an 8 and 10? And hopefully you recognize that number is 2. So when we're factoring out a 2x, basically what we're doing is we're dividing out that 2x, okay? So if basically you take these two terms and divide them by 2x, what are you going to be left with? So an 8x squared divided by 2x is going to be a 4x, and a 10x divided by 2x is going to be a positive 5. Now, are you sure I did this right? I don't know. How do we... Oh, what am I doing? Jeez. Okay, well, anyways, no, let's keep this here. I was just kind of going through the motions, and this is why I'm not going to do all these problems late at night. So this is actually a really good point because this is another mistake. So this is mistake number one that students would make, right? Mistake number two that students would make on a problem like this is that they would try to use the zero product property in this case. No, no, no. I don't want you to be using the zero product property in this case, right? Because again, what do you have this product equal to? You have this product equal to 10. It's not the product, it's not the 10 product property, right? It's the zero product property. So you can't do like, even though there's nothing wrong that you did, right? You didn't do anything wrong in this case. But what you did do is you didn't really get anywhere where you can go further from here. So what is it we need to do then? So what is actually the correct way to do this? Well, the correct way to do this, and this would be like a 3, mistakes. I like that. Let's see, 107. So the correct way, what you need to do in this problem, is actually kind of a good problem to test you out on. So an 8x squared plus a 10. Oh, that's equal to 0. What am I doing? That is correct. That is the correct way to do it. If that was equal to 0, then it'd be different. I wrote down the problem wrong. So anyways, that is the correct way. Sorry, my brain hurts. I got to stop. So it actually was equal to 0. I don't even know. I don't even know if anybody's recognizing in the chat that I'm going crazy. Yes. Thank you, Azim. You caught it. Appreciate that. But it did make me think about, though, if that was equal to 10, a different, like how actually I could go about that problem, but that's not the case. So whatever. But anyways, now we can go ahead and set them both equal to, now I can apply the zero product property. So I can say 2x equals 0 and a 4x plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, then divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 0. And then a 4x plus 5 is equal to 0. Minus 5, minus 5. 4x equals to a negative 5. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X is equal to a negative 5/4. Voila. Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So I do apologize, guys. I have, I think, 26 more questions to go through. And I know many of you are studying for your exams. I don't want to be wasting your time for like one question. So what I will do is I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to go live, I think, every day this week. I just made that decision. Don't hold me to it. I might have to take down the stream, but no, I will do some extra live streams. I will make sure I get to all of your questions, and I will take on some more questions. So I don't know when I'm going to go live yet because I have my daughter sick this week, so I have to stay home with her. But I will be going live. I'm going to post more live streams, and I wish you guys all the best on your exams. So have a great week, guys, and hopefully you guys will see me during the week, and I can post my schedule, so therefore you'll know when to catch me. Otherwise, all the replays, guys, are going to be available. All right, cheers.